This will be our third lesson about website development, and it should be the nicest lesson so far because we'll learn a few new things. What we'll do today is we'll learn about links, how to link pages in our website, and also how to link from our website to other websites. And the second thing that we're going to learn is going to be how to create tables. Tables are important to know, and you'll see why. And the third thing that we'll learn will be how to add pictures, or we can call it images in general, into our web page. And the images will be from regular pictures of people and places, or images that are something that we download from the web, like stuff that Liam is sending me in the background when he sends the email, or anything that you can view on your computer we can add into our web page. So those topics will be the general discussion, and today we'll just see a little bit of each, but it will be enough for you to start creating nice things, and later on we'll expand on different types of those elements. So as you see here, I have the basic page that I told you about, that is a complete HTML page, and let's create the title for our page. Title is important because when Google crawlers crawl the internet and they index websites, they look at the title. So if you want your website to be picked up by a Google search, then it's a good idea to create a title. So we'll just make a very simple thing, not to waste too much time. And then we'll go to the main thing, which is the body. So let's take out the space here. Let's make a little bit more room in the body. And well, let's make it interesting. So let's create a color of the background, which you already know how to do. Let's call it sky blue. And the browsers usually know what sky blue is, so it will interpret it into a sky blue color of the background. And the first thing that I wanted to show you was how to create a link. So the way we create a link is we have a tag that's called A, and then href. Href means hypertext reference, and we do href equals. Now this is page 3, so we had page 2 already that we created. So let's link to page 2.html. So there are two types of links. One type is a link to a relative address, and the other one is to absolute address. What does it mean, relative address? Since we'll put page 3 in the same directory as page 2, we can reference in the link straight page2.html. Because relative to page 3, page 2 will be in the same directory. So that's called relative addressing. And the second link that we'll create will be an absolute link, which we'll see in a moment. But let's just complete this. So we put the link inside the A tag, we close it, and then we put the name that we want to display as the name of the link. So let's call it link to page 2. This is not something significant, but just that we know this first time when we create that link that it will lead us to page number 2 that we have created before. And then to close the link, we put a /a close angle bracket. This will be our first link, and then let's put a break, so we'll go to the next line, and let's create one more link, and the second link will be an absolute link, and this link will be to a Google search page. So what we have to do is we have to put the entire address of the Google search page, so it will be http://www.google.com, close the quotes, close the angle brackets, and here we'll say search with Google and a question mark. So if somebody wants to search with Google, they can press that link, and we'll close it with /a. So we've created two links on the page. One of them will link to our other page that we already loaded to the website, and the second link will hopefully bring us into the Google search page. So let's update this. And let's load it, let's put it on the website. I'm putting it under the Learn directory, so it's not going to be in any of yours, not on Liam's, not on Tommy's. It'll just be on Learn. And let's open a browser. Wait for the browser. Okay, page 3. Okay, so here are our two links. One is linked to page 2, and the other one is search with Google. So let's try the first one. It brings us to the page that we created last time, if you remember. Now here there is no link back, so we'll just go back with the browser. And let's try the second link, search with Google. Look that see that the background is sky blue, right? Search to Google, goes to Google's page. Okay, so both our links worked. And let's go back and add more stuff. So this is how you put links on your page. Now you can place it in different places. You can make more space between them. You can put few BRs. And the next time we load, we'll see that. But let's move on to the tables. So the way to create a table is by opening a tag, calling it table, and let's do it with a border. So we'll say border equals 1, and you'll see what border means. Close it. And now, in order to create the rows of the table, we open a tag that's called tr. tr opens a new row, and inside the row, to open a column, we'll use a tag called td. So inside the td, we'll put some content, and that will be inside a cell of that table. So let's make a table for games of sort, let's say basketball games. So we'll put in the first column, we'll put the game number as the heading, and then we'll end the first cell in the first row with //td, and then we'll open up another cell in the same row, and that one will be team 1, and close the td. And the next one will be another td. So we'll have another column, call it team 2, and we can also close it here if we want. I told you it doesn't matter where we put the tags as long as they are in order. And the last column will be for score. And we'll close the row. The way we close the row is we put /tr. So we have one row, and the first cell will be game number, then we'll have team 1, team 2, and score, 4 cells. So the second row will actually put content into the table. So we start another tr. And the reason I'm putting it below is to see that we have the closing of the tr and the opening of a new one, so that means another row. You don't have to put it this way, but this will be easy to detect how many rows we have on the table. So let's do first td will be game number, so let's put 1, close, and the second one will be team 1, so we put a team there. And then we'll have team 2, and then we'll have a score. Of course, being from New York, we'll put a score that will be in favor of New York, and we'll close the row with /tr, and we'll close the table /table, and that's it. So now this should create us a table with 2 rows and 4 cells, and let's update it, save, and let's load it to the website and see how that looks. Have to wait a couple moments. Now it's loading. Okay, let's go back to the browser and let's refresh the page. Okay, so now you see how the table looks like. As we said, game number was the first column, and then the second column of the first row was team 1, second column was team 2, then score, and then we went to the next line, we put game number, team 1, team 2, and a score. So this is our nice table, and let me show you an effect when we change the table a little bit. Let's put the border to be 3 instead of 1. And let's put the BRs, instead of here, we'll put them after the 2 links. So in between the links and the table we'll have a little bit of space. Save, and now we should see something a little bit different. I did border equals 3 instead of 1, and let's see what effect that change makes. Okay, so let's go back to the browser. So this is before refreshing. Look at the border of the table. Pay attention to the border, and when I refresh, this border will change slightly. Okay, so the border became a little thicker because I put the number 3. Now let's see what happens if I put, for instance, border equals 0. Save and upload it. And let's refresh. Okay, so when I put border equals 0, we don't see borders at all. So we have the same table, the same cells, but it doesn't show the borders. So in this case, it doesn't look that good. I'm gonna put back the borders, and we'll move on to the next subject. We'll leave the border equal 1, and you can play around with it. So the next thing that we'll do is we'll learn how to put the images. So let's open another table after this table. Let's put the line of space, or let's put the horizontal ruler, and let's start a new table. And this time we'll just do 1 row and 1 column. Okay, and then we close the column, /TD, and we close the row, and we close the table. And now we would want to put an image in here. So the way to put an image is by putting the tag image img and then specifying a source src and then we give a name of an image. So what I did is I uploaded to the directory learn, I uploaded an image that's called _000 555 0.jpg. Now I'm closing the tag, the image tag, and that's it. Now let me intentionally put a number, an image that doesn't exist. Instead of 0, I'll put 1. And this image doesn't exist on the directory learn. Let's see how the browser will deal with an image that doesn't exist. So let's upload the page. Takes a few seconds. And let's go and refresh. Okay, so we have our table as before. We have the horizontal ruler that we put in, and here we have sort of a question mark. The question mark here is inside the table. If you can notice here, there is a table, and the question mark is because the browser cannot find that image on the directory learn, because here we are on learn page 3.html, cannot find it. So now if I change it to make it the image that I do have on learn, save it, and then load that, let's see what happens now. Go back to the browser, refresh. Now it's going to take a little longer, but the image is there. So here you have the image. Okay, so that 0.0.0.5550 is this image. So that's why it's here. Now let's try to make it, we can make it a little smaller, and I'll show you how to do that. Go back and we can make the dimensions that we want. So inside the image tag we can say width equals 200 and height equals 120. I'll actually make it 130. Save and load it again. And let's go back to the browser, refresh. And now it's a smaller size. So this is how we load images into our web page. And I haven't discussed exactly about the dimensions of the image. We just changed it. Whether it's correct to change it this way or in a different way, we didn't get into that yet. But we'll deal with images a little bit later. But for right now, you know how to place an image into your page, and usually it's a good idea to put it inside the table. Of course, you can put it also outside the table. We could have done this. We could have taken the image, could take, for instance, after the table, we can insert another image. let's put another image here and see where this one will be. Let's see, there's another image that I want to put up on the website. This one, let me upload it in the meantime. 5638. So let me put this image here. 0005638.jpg, and let's do the same thing. Width equals 200 and height equals 130. Close it. Save. And let's go back. So the image was uploaded to the website. Now let me just update page 3. That will include the second image. And let's go to the browser and refresh. Okay, it's not showing me the second image. It's showing me an empty. Maybe there is a mistake in the name of the image. Let's take a look again. 0005638. It looks like a correct name. So let's see why it's not showing. Possibly because we didn't put the image inside the table, we just put it out in the body somewhere. Let's try to do it without the height and the width. Let's see if it gives us anything. Save. Load again the page. It gave the same result. Doesn't show us the second image. So let's put it inside the table. Let's put another row. Close the row. And let's take this. Put it inside this column. And let's put the same dimensions so it shows up in the same way as the first image. Oh, I see why it didn't show it. Because I made a mistake here. Instead of SRC, I put SCR. Okay, so let's not do it in the table. Let's do it outside the table. Like before. It should still show it, but not as nicely. So now we'll have a table with 2 rows, and the second row will be empty. But then the second picture should show even though it's not in the table. So we'll see where the second picture will be on the page once this thing is loading. Refresh the page. And the second picture is showing here. So even though it's not in the table, it's showing here. Now if I move it back to the table, it should be under this one. So let me do that. So one thing that you can see here is that you don't have much control on where the picture is if you don't put it inside a table. Now let's put it inside the table in the second row. Save. Load it again. And refresh. And it's still showing on the same row, even though I tried to put it on the second row. Let's see why. Okay, this is the picture on the first row. Close the row, starting a new row. Close the new row. Let's browse it with another browser. Let's take this page. Let's browse it with Chrome. Okay, it's still showing it next to one another. Let's see what I have missing. I see what I have missing. There is a mistake here in the name table. So it didn't recognize it as a table. This was a typo. Let me update that and load it again. Now let's refresh. Okay, so now it's showing it underneath, but it doesn't show the first image. Let's go to the other browser. Refresh. Here it's showing me both. Maybe the other one is too slow. Let's go again. For some reason it doesn't show the first image. Maybe there is another typo somewhere. Let's see. Table border equals 1, tr, td, image, src, width, height, and let's put on the width and height the numbers also in quotes. Some browsers don't like it when you don't have quotes. So this is another issue with HTML, that some browsers show it in one way and others show it in another way. So let's see if that helps Chrome showing the first image. Let's load it. And sometimes you need to experiment with different browsers to make sure that everything works. Let's do a refresh here. No, it still doesn't show the first image, but Safari shows it clearly. So we'll have to check why Chrome doesn't show the first image. It's interesting. Let's do a view of the source. So in the source it shows us table border equals 1. And we have the image tag. And we have the width and the height. This looks okay. Both of them look the same way. TD, close TD, close TR, TR, TD. Let's try to swap them and see what happens. Let's take this image and let's put it here. And we'll take the first one out. Save. Upload. It's a little bit slow. Okay, let's go back to Chrome and refresh it now. And that image, it shows twice. So I have some suspicion that maybe because I didn't have the angle bracket right after. So let me just put the name of the other image here, save it, and load it again. Let's go back to Chrome and refresh from here. Now there's something in the image itself that it doesn't pick up. Oh, even though we have the image there. So that's another thing that you have to remember. If you place an image on your page, you also have to upload that image to the website. Now, one thing that I would suggest you to do is to create another directory and call it images. And all the images that you want to put on your website will be placed inside the images directory. Let's go to our web development. Okay, so this is my directory, and I'm gonna create another directory here, or folder, call it images. And what I'll do is I'll put those images that I have right now in Learn, those two, I'll move them to the directory called images, and I'll create on the website also a directory that's called images. Oh, I have to relaunch. Let's connect again. Let's see if it created the directory under Learn. No, it didn't. So I'm going to create a directory called images, and all my images will go there. Okay, so that's images. I put them here, and images is here. I'm just gonna upload those two images into the images of the website. And once we do that, we'll have to change the page, because now it's not going to be in the same directory. So now we'll have to do this. We'll have to put images / and the name of the image. Because now I place those images inside a directory or a folder called images. And now I'll go and upload the page again. So I'm uploading the page into Learn. So this has to do with also relative address. So the relative address of the page, of the image, is going to be the new directory images and then the name of the image. And do refresh. So it found both of them, and they are both in the images directory, because I uploaded, as you saw, I uploaded into the images directory. If I look at the images directory, it has those two images here and here. So what's happening in the page? Again, you have to point into the place where your image is, and in this case we decided to create the images folder, your images directory, and put the same images in there. So this is the way we have to designate it to the browser. And this will conclude our lesson for today. So hopefully you'll be able to create better and nicer things, and send me whatever you want me to upload to the website, and I'll do it as soon as I see your email. Okay, have fun.